In this video, we are going to talk about bike positions, how you can take your position from where it is now and make it even better on race day. So let's go. The reason why we're going to talk about this is because for most people, race season is still a few months off, and you might be thinking, well, I'm training as much as I possibly can. Where are these other gains going to come from? And honestly, on the bike, it's the biggest chunk of the race. Depending on what distance you do, it's still going to be the biggest chunk of the race. If you can get yourself into a better position, you're going to be going further, faster, for less effort. So it is really valuable to think about this, and you've still got time to dial in that position ahead of race season. So I've got 4 easy tips for you guys to take away with you today, work on, and then fingers crossed, come race season, you'll be looking amazing. So let's dive into it. First tip is flexibility and mobility. No matter how much you want to get into an aerodynamic position, if your body just simply won't allow it, you're never going to be able to get into that position. So what's really crucial is freeing up these muscles and these joints around here to make sure that you're actually able to get into that position. So a lot of stretching, a lot of mobility work, focusing on strength as well to allow yourself to sit into that position for longer is going to make you, or it's going to make it far easier to not only get more aerodynamic, which is part of the puzzle, but also sustain that position for far longer, which is another part of the puzzle, and arguably a more important part of the puzzle, because you can be as aerodynamic as possible, but if you can't hold that position and sustain that position, you'll end up sitting up like this, needing to recover, and this is not an aerodynamic position whatsoever. So if anything, it's better to be slightly less aerodynamic to start, but be a sustainable position, and as you progress, you can change your position, work on your flexibility and mobility, and allow yourself to sink further into that position. Tip number 2 is relax. I see so many people, and this is something that I always have to remind myself as well when I'm out riding, is tensing up when you're in position. You tense up and you kind of shrug the shoulders and scrunch up and tense all of these muscles that shouldn't really be working. If you think about it, what you want to do is relax, and your body will naturally end up sinking into that position. So if I'm tense, really, I can get as low as that, and I'm just really tensed up, and it's not really that comfortable, and yes, my lower body needs to be working, but my upper body doesn't really need to be working this hard. It's just extra effort, and it's not really necessary. If I learn to relax my forearms, my hands, my biceps, my triceps, everything that's not necessarily needed, I not only make sure that I'm just focusing on the muscles that need to be needed to move me forward, but I'm also allowing myself to sink into that position. So if you look, when I relax, I can just drop my head completely in, my hands not tensed at all, forearms not tensed at all. Now there is going to be a degree at some point of you needing to pull forward on the bars, or brace for corners, or for a windy section or something like that, but for the most part, if you can focus on relaxing, you can sink into your position more. It'll be far more comfortable and far more sustainable, which will equal it being more aerodynamic. Tip number 3, this sounds really weird, is to be an egg. Now, I've got an example of an egg. Not that any of you need to know what an egg looks like. I mean, I can imagine everyone knows what an egg looks like, and this honestly isn't the best example of an egg because it's very round. It's not really super egg-shaped. However, the idea is still the same. If you look at this shape, it's very aerodynamic. It's similar shape to the front of an aeroplane, for example, where if the wind's hitting this side, it's just going to go around the egg really nicely and come off the back. And if anything, that's the kind of idea, and that's what we want to create with your bike position. So how do we end up making our body work a little bit more like an egg? Well, as you can see here, there's only one contact point, really. One point where the wind's going to hit, and it's going to go around the egg. A lot of people, they'll end up pushing they're slamming their bars, so their hands are nice and low, but they struggle to get their head down. So they've got two contact points. They've got their head up here and their hands down here. And then they've got this chest area, which is super open. The wind will just come in, hit your chest, and that's just causing a lot of drag. If we can close that area between your hands and your head, that's going to make you far more aerodynamic and far more egg-shaped. Now, the way you can do that is actually very simple. It's not bring your head to your hands, it's bring your hands to your head. I've actually done this in the past with bike fitting with a very good friend of mine. We made my position far more aerodynamic, but we also made it more comfortable because I brought my pads up about 1.5 centimeters, which is quite a lot. That raised my hands about 1.5 centimeters. It meant that my hands were closer to my head, and I was able to break through the wind in just with one pinpoint, rather than those two sections from your hands and your head, having that section in the middle with your chest that's going to hit the wind. You break through the wind with just one section here. So if you can only get to this point with your head, well, instead of trying to force your head down, which could end up giving you back issues, glute issues, just being an unsustainable position, what you can think about is, okay, well, can I get more of an angle on my bar? Can I put another spacer in? Can I raise my pads up? And essentially what I'd be thinking about is, okay, I've got this position, how can I get my hands to there? Because that's closed that gap, it's made it far more aerodynamic, it's made it more comfortable, and I've not had to really force myself into that position. And having that egg shape and adopting that egg shape, it may not look like the best position or the most aerodynamic position possible, but sometimes the most aerodynamic positions are actually not the ones that look amazing, but they just feel really good. You're able to put out good power, and you're breaking through the wind with that 1 point rather than 2. Tip number 4 is the same as anything. If you want to be good at something, you need to practice. You can't expect to be riding your road bike all winter, get on your TT bike and suddenly feel fantastic and have an amazing position. It's something that will take years to master and get really good at. And if you can follow all of these tips, trust me, you will be in a far, far better position on your position. Not funny? Yeah, that didn't make sense, did it?
That was stupid.
No, okay. So essentially practicing is going to make you far, far better, far, far more sustainable. Essentially what you can do is every time you've got an easy ride, let's say for example you set yourself, or a coach sets you, 1 hour to 2 hours, easy spin on the turbo. How do you make that a bit more exciting? Because honestly, turbo work, it is very boring. I'll be honest with you, it does suck, and you don't need to be reminded of that. So you can make this a bit more interesting. You could do a 30-minute easy spin, and then you could do a block of 30 minutes where you sit in your position for a minute, and then you sit up out of your position for 30 seconds, and you repeat that over and over and over again. And each time you try and really focus on these things where you just sit into position, you relax, you bring your hands up to your head, really feel good in position, and then you have a bit of time out of position, and you repeat that over and over again. As you get good at that, you can then start to increase the duration that you sit in position and decrease the duration that you sit out of position. Before you know it, you're doing hours in position, you're feeling really good. Then you can start to include a bit of power, a bit of intensity in position. You can take your position outside, start to work on it there. And honestly, if you can do that, you'll feel fantastic in a race, and you'll be able to sit in position for far longer. And like I said earlier, it doesn't matter if you've got the best position in the world. If you cannot sit in that position sustainably and put out good power, it's not a good position for you, and it's not aerodynamic. If you've got a position for you that's comfortable, it fits well, you can put out good power, and it's relatively aerodynamic, it's a perfect position. You can always get better. There's always that next level to get to, and that's what we're all striving for. But I hope these tips have been helpful, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.